Okay, so welcome back to another episode of PTips, Analysis Deconstructed, here with PT Fintech. So just a reminder, every Monday and Wednesdays during the London Open, okay, this is when we're going to start deconstructing all of the analysis that are provided by PTips. Now, trading Forex is traded on margin. It may not be suitable for everyone as it is considered a high risk instrument. Okay, so do tread with care when you're doing any form of trading. Now, we're not providing any signals whatsoever on our PTips Analysis Deconstructed. We're basically deconstructing the analysis for you to have a secondary or tertiary or opinion about how the markets may go. All right. Okay. So without further ado, let's actually just dive in. Just a quick overview, right? This was basically our experiment. We tested it out. We started putting PTips to the test starting as of last week. So far, it's working out just fine for us. It's literally allowing us to make a little bit of profits, okay? So that's good. Let's hope that the PTips will continue its good run, okay, for its money. All right. Okay, so those are just the trades that just happened earlier for our experiment. Okay, so anyways, let's just dive in and take a look. Okay, so EURUSD. Let's always start from D1. Okay, that's what the PTips always send us. So on D1, with our setup currently, we're looking at basically the RSI is higher than 50. One moment, people are joining. Okay, so RSI is higher than 50. The bands, price within higher bands, okay, or between the top bands. Yes, it is. So usually with this type of setup, it's an indication of a potential bull. Okay, with the trend right now, it does obviously seem bullish. It's within a bullish channel. Okay, that's on D1. So we've already done that. We basically put a buy order onto the test, and so far 10 cents. Okay, now let's take a look at H4. H4, the RSI right now is on the overbought zone, and the bands are within the top bands. So with this type of setup, usually it's a bullish setup. But then, of course, you have to be very careful with the RSI being on the overbought. With RSI at overbought, there's a high potential that the market may start doing a little bit of pullback. Okay, so based on H4 right now, we're not going to see a prominent pullback just yet. Okay, just because RSI is still pointing upwards. Okay, but overall, this type of setup is bullish, but with potential pullback. Okay. All right, so let's take a look at H1, see if we get any other details. So for H1, right now, we're seeing the same thing. We're basically seeing H1 price within RSI above 70, so that's an overbought zone. And then the price is within the 1.0 deviation bands. No, it's not. It's literally above a 1.0 deviation band right now. And it's within the top bands. Okay, so far this looks bullish to me, but I noticed one small thing. Oops, sorry, that line is just a bit tad long from what I want. Okay, so let me just get the grid out so we're on the same page. See, this is a divergence that occurred on H1. Divergences are, they're rare. They don't happen all the time, okay? So when it does happen, I think we have to take notice of it, okay? With this type of divergence setup, it's basically a bearish divergence, okay? It's a bearish divergence. It's a potential indication that the markets may come down, okay? Now, you have to be careful of one thing. Here is a strong support point, okay, at 1.099. Okay, so that's a strong support point. Potentially, if it's going to go bear, it may reach this point first. So if you're gonna go into a sell, potentially you want this point to be a potential take profit, okay, for your trades. Next instrument is silver. Okay, so with silver, let's quickly take a look. Silver is quite unique. I was hoping silver goes up, okay, because I have been telling you guys that solar panels, they require a lot of silver, right? Which is the truth. I don't understand why suddenly, silver is dropping, okay? But of course, I know that we are still in dire need of silver for all of these renewable energy production material. RSI, PTips claims that it's below 50 and that the bands, price are within the 1.0 deviation bands. Usually how we're going to do this is this. If prices are going to go above the MA20, then we can be confident in a buy, but you have to take profit on the top bands, okay? Top of the 1.0 deviation band, all right? But overall right now, we're in what type of trend? This is a bearish trend. So if you're going to do you're going to go long, you're basically going against the trend right now. With this type of setup, RSI being below 50, we do a sell and then we'll exit. I would like to exit at the lower side of the 1.0 deviation bands. That's what I usually would do. Okay, H4. RSI is at 50. That's what PTips says. Right now, it's not at 50. It's literally above now. It's at 57. Okay, it's a bit higher than 50. The price in the bands is within the 1.0 deviation band, and it's above MA20. The Bollinger bands are going higher and higher, so that's an indication of bullishness. Okay? All right. Now, what do we see? It's still trading within the 1.0 deviation bands. In reality, with this type of setup, we are stuck in more of a, ranging market like that. So what I usually would like to do is if we're going to trade within the 1.0 deviation bands, I'm going to put my take profit. So I'm going to do a sell here, which I already have apparently, for my experiment. So what I like to do is set my take profit just a bit lower than my MA20, okay, which is the middle band, Bollinger band. Great. Let's take a look at H1, see if we see any other more details. See, H1, PTips claims that RSI is below 50. It's not below 50, it's around 50. It's 57, it's above 50. The bands, the prices are within the top bands. Okay, it's within the top band. So when it's within the top bands for silver, usually this is a type of indication of bullishness. Okay, so if anything, I personally would want to enter into a buy for silver, okay, with this type of setup. But of course, you have to be very careful. You see, it is more bearish still. So if we're doing a buy, we're trading literally against the trend. If anything, we're stuck in a ranging market. Okay, so that's what we are in. We're in a ranging market for silver. Okay. All right. Well, that's it for silver. Apparently, silver is telling us to do buys and sells. So usually, you don't really want to trade when there's multiple different signals like that. Okay. But remember, what we're doing here, we're not providing you signals, right? We're putting PTips to the test on our PT Fintech's demo account for you. Now, last but not least, the most important product that everyone has been watching and trading a lot of, which is gold. Okay, a lot of people are buying into gold like if there's no tomorrow. Everyone's holding on to this safe haven. But may things change? Will there be more bullishness tonight? Okay, we don't know. So let's quickly take a look. For gold, D1, PTips claims that RSI is above 50. Yes, it is. The bands, price within the top bands. Yes, it is. But it's not in a major trend right now. What we're seeing is this. You see, the tops are getting lower and lower. The lows are stuck parallel. So what happens is I expect this more of a ranging market. Okay? You see? Boom. It's more of a ranging market per se. Okay, it's not very prominent of a bear. It's no prominence. There's no prominent signals for bulls either. Okay, so we're stuck in a ranging market. How to trade? Let's take a look at H4 if we get some other details. Okay. All right. Oh no. I started with H1. All right. Let's start from D1. Okay, D1. Oh yeah, no, H4. Yeah, we're supposed to take a look at H4. Sorry. All right, H4. So H4, it's above 50 right now, the RSI, and then basically the bands. The bands are within the 1.0 deviation. It's breaking above, trying to enter into the top bands. Okay, so what we're seeing is that it is really stuck in a ranging market. Okay, so with prices above the MA20, we could go bullish. Okay, but be careful because right now there is a strong resistance. Okay, over here at 2474. Okay, that's a strong resistance right there. All right, let's take a look at H1. One second. Okay, done. Plugged in with batteries. Okay, now let's take a look at H1. H1, really sure it's within a ranging market. So what you would like to do is if it's in a ranging market, trade within the 1.0 deviation bands. So for example, if I were to actually trade an order here within the 1.0 deviation bands, this is best if RSI is around 50, okay? But let's go for it. Experimental. This is what we are. Oh, sorry, it's H1. It's within the 1.0 deviation bands. So if we were to enter into a sell, what you want to do is set basically your take profit just a tad lower below the MA20. That's basically our goal and the idea behind trading within the 1.0 deviation bands. Okay, right. So look, if the prices still maintain above the MA20, in reality, it's still bullish. Okay, what we're doing right now by doing a sell and trading within this range, it is a bit against the trend per se. Okay, but hey, this is analysis. This is how we put things to the test without you taking the risk, right? Okay, all right. Well, that's pretty much it for today here at PTips Analysis Deconstructed. So I want to thank you all for your time. And just a reminder, I shall see you next Monday at the same time, okay, during our London session open. So just a reminder, every Monday and Wednesdays during London sessions, that's when we're going to come live and deconstruct the analysis. Every Monday to Fridays, there's free P-tips for all of you on PT Fintech's social media. So what you want to do is subscribe to PT Fintech so you can get all of the latest details and also all of the free P-tips for you to use. Okay? Well, thank you very much for your time. That's it for today. See you on Monday.